I said, well, we can't cancel, because even if 5 of you had shown up, I was going to be here and talk.
What was the cause of the United States Civil War?
Well, don't come with an easy question or anything. I mean, I think the cause of the Civil War was basically how government was going to run, the freedoms and what people could and couldn't do. What do you think the cause of the Civil War was? I'm sorry?
I'm not running for president. I wanted to see your view on the cause of the Civil War.
I mean, I think it always comes down to the role of government and what the rights of the people are. And I will always stand by the fact that I think government was intended to secure the rights and freedoms of the people. It was never meant to be all things to all people. Government doesn't need to tell you how to live your life. They don't need to tell you what you can and can't do. They don't need to be a part of your life. They need to make sure that you have freedom. We need to have capitalism. We need to have economic freedom. We need to make sure that we do all things so that individuals have the liberties so that they can have freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom to do or be anything they want to be without government getting in the way.
Thank you. And in the year 2023, it's astonishing to me that you answer that question without mentioning the word slavery.
What do you want me to say about slavery?
You've answered my question. Thank you.
Next question. Of course, the Civil War was about slavery. We know that. That's unquestioned, always the case. We know the Civil War was about slavery. But it was also more than that. It was about the freedoms of every individual. It was about the role of government. By the grace of God, we did the right thing and slavery is no more. But the lessons of what that bigger issue with the Civil War are is that let's not forget what came out of that, which is government's role, individual liberties, freedom for every single person, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom to do and be anything you want to be without anyone or government getting in your way. And that action is that the Confederate flag is coming off the grounds of the South Carolina State House.
I noticed that Nikki Haley has had some problems with some basic American history. She's asked a very simple question and responded with just really incomprehensible word salad about this and that. And what she asked the voter, what do you want her to say about this or that? And then now is taking different positions in this. And so I just think that this shows this is not a candidate that's ready for prime time. Of course, you have the issue of slavery. You had the states that were concerned about Lincoln interfering and potentially eliminating it, and they viewed it as a states' rights issue, not as a federal issue. And they were concerned that you have this Republican president may come in and get rid of the institution of slavery. And so that was, it's interesting because the Republican Party was founded to put a stop to the growth of slavery in this country, and the abolition of slavery was, to this day, remains the party's top achievement.
Defended Florida curriculum that suggests slaves benefited from.
That's not what it suggests. That's a fake narrative. We've now had a whole semester that's happened. Have you seen examples of them saying what the media was saying this summer? No, you haven't seen it. You would have seen that if that's what it was. So that was never what it was. That was bastardized, I think, intentionally to try to create a narrative of people like Kamala Harris. So what Florida's standards were written largely by African Americans, and they were accurate, and there was no any of those narratives are false. I'm opposed to taking down statutes. The idea that we're going to just erase history is wrong. You've seen it now where they've tried to take down Thomas Jefferson. They've tried to take down George Washington off schools. It just gets so out of hand. So I don't support taking down statutes, particularly if you don't have legal authority to do it. I don't know what the legal basis was to do it. I just kind of got a report on it, but I would not be taking down statutes.
Look, I think my job is to go and tell them what I believe in and then let it fall. I've never been one that just goes where it's popular. I've always spoken my hard truth. And so I think people have been very respectful about it. And I've had many people after the debate, after our town halls, that say they agree because they understand I'm the military spouse under Biden's watch. I don't play for second. Okay. I'm playing to win it. I'm going to finish it. And then we're going to get our country back on track. China doesn't know what they're doing when they send it over. They're homeless. 1 in 3 veterans finally have term limits in this country. Think welfare, think education, think health. When you do that, you reduce dramatically the size of the federal government.